Good grief, guys. I mean, YouTube has been kind of wonky today in regards to notifications. As you know, I tried to do multiple live streams, but unfortunately, nobody was being notified. But the videos I posted this morning, like the episode review, the trailer breakdown, the one about Larry, the one about the baby dying, between IG DMs and the comments section on the trailer breakdown, people wanted me to do a video on this. Is it possible that the baby did pass away due to, I believe it's called SIDS? I actually have it pulled on my computer right now. SIDS, Sudden Infant Death Syndrome. I did not know this was a thing. But sudden infant death, and it kind of makes me cringe just reading it, but SIDS is the unexplained death, usually during sleep, of a seemingly healthy baby less than a year old. SIDS is sometimes known as crib death because the infants often die in their cribs. That could be what occurs in next week's episode, unfortunately. I hope this isn't the case, but you never know. But basically, this could lead to a lot of different things, like things I didn't catch in the trailer the first time, like maybe this could explain why Alex is at the hospital with Dr. Ratston. This could explain possibly the lineage of the child. Now, there are multiple things to break down. So the beginning of this video is asking the question, could the baby have, experienced SIDS? And now the rest of this video is going over different theories and thoughts about the situation, about the lineage. This would be a terrible way to find out who the father of the child is. For one, what if Brad actually finds out he is the father after the baby passes away? When I tell you that would be eating at him, I can't even fathom. Because think of it this way. He's like, I'm not the father. Well, actually, no. Before he got the divorce papers, he was like, he wasn't opposed to raising the child, even though it wasn't his. But then because of Alex's lies, he just wanted to end the marriage. And then, when Alex left in the last episode, he's like, well, that's not my child. And then in the next episode, he's like, well, because Marcy had to leave, and he's like, well, it's okay. The baby can't do anything for himself, so I can actually stay and watch him. And it's like, yeah, but it's not your child. But what? I'm not going to hurt him or anything. So then Marcy leaves, and then imagine him trying to take care of the baby, and then he loses the baby, and that's just terrifying. Then on top of that, you had the mom, Alex, who said, I don't want it. Put him up for adoption. Do whatever you want. I'm through. That's awful. So imagine if something happens to the baby and then he goes to the hospital, and then, obviously, let's say Dr. Ratston or whoever is looking over the baby, and it's like, well, are you the parent of it? It's like, well, no, I'm not. And then Alex gets her phone blown up by the hospital, and that explains why she comes to the hospital. And then that's why Dr. Ratston is checking her out. She's like, I'm fine. So that would be a lot. I don't know if all that's going to happen in the next episode based off the whole Alex at the bar on the mechanical bull and all. That just seems weird for that to be going on if the baby actually is dead. I mean, maybe the baby not breathing could be the cliffhanger of the episode. Maybe. I'm not 100% sure, but again, guys, I've seen the trailer because somebody recorded it off their TV so I can watch it, but you all know when it comes out on YouTube in that HD quality, that's when I can really screenshot and, pause it at key moments to, find out some things. Like, I didn't notice that Natalie was at the bar with, Alex to try to get her to calm down. I didn't realize that because I didn't notice it, mainly because you see the back of her head where you can notice the Burger Fast outfit on. So I don't know. So could this possibly be a way of explaining why Alex gets to the hospital with the doctor? And again, this would be an awful way to find out who the father of the baby is, especially if it is indeed Brad. Imagine him losing a child and not knowing why because of SIDS. Like, it just happened. There was no way around it. That would be awful. And like Marcy, yes, even though she had her tender moment with the baby in last week's episode, and this isn't her child, just the possibility of her and Brad raising this baby together despite everything going on in their failed marriages and whatnot, she can almost have PTSD from losing her own child. So sad to say, if this was Brad's child, or it'll be Marcy could definitely relate from losing her own unborn child. So that would kind of bring them closer together, kind of mirroring the haves and the have-nots, where it's like um, Hannah and Michael. Michael, the grandfather of little Lizzie, the one who was allegedly run over by Wyatt. So it's like one of those situations where he lost his granddaughter, and then eventually Hannah lost her grandson. So that would have been a great way for them to be together. No offense to Derek, but I was really rooting for a Michael and Hannah relationship. So maybe the same thing could happen with Brad and Marcy, where aside from their cheating spouses, that bringing them closer together, unfortunately, the loss of their respective children, one being an infant, the other one being unborn, would bring them even closer together as well. So that would be something else. And let me just say this much. If it turns out that the baby does die and Randall has something to say about it, I'm no, just beat his ass. I don't care who does it, but somebody do it. Like, I know he was mocking Marcy about losing a child, but in this situation, it's like, Randall, like, you thought for the longest time this was your child as well. So for you cheering for the death of an infant, somebody should beat his ass if he does it. I hope he doesn't, but then again, this SOB probably will. But yeah, for everyone who wanted me to do this video about this, SIDS, that actually makes sense, because I didn't know this was a thing. After looking at the information, it does make sense now that it could just happen to any child, even someone who, any child who's seemingly healthy and whatnot, and is less than a year old. So thank you all for bringing this to my attention. But just before I close shop here, want to make sure I covered everything. So talked about the SIDS, how this could potentially lead to finding out the lineage of the baby, the father figure of the baby. And yeah, I mean, if Alex finds out, but then just goes to a bar, whatever, to party and whatnot, good Lord. Let me just say, this season could bring out the worst in a lot of characters and just see sides that we never thought existed. So I think that's probably what's going to go down. So unfortunately, this could be it. Shoot, sad stuff, man. But based off this, well, shoot, it's such a sad topic. I don't even want to do my usual plugs, but you all know the drill. Let me just do it quick. Subscribe. Social media links in the description below. I just finished recording the video about the babyface Teddy Riley. I'm going to post it on Patreon first. It's going to be the audio file. And because I tried to do live streams multiple times, but it didn't work. But I'll still do a live stream where I could talk to you all about the face off on Instagram. But yeah, that's it. Comment your thoughts below. And I'll talk to you all in the next video.